In today's video, we're bringing 16 forgotten masterpieces back from automotive purgatory. These aren't just cars, they're rolling sculptures that emerged during one of the most challenging decades in history. Number 1. Maserati A6 1500, 1946 to 1950. From the ruins of a war-torn Italy came one of the most extraordinary automobiles of the 1940s, the Maserati A6 1500. With the country still picking up the pieces after World War II, Maserati took the boldest gamble in company history. After decades of building only racing machines, they decided to create their very first road car when most Italians could barely afford bread. Only 61 of these remarkable vehicles ever left the factory floor, each sporting a stunning Pininfarina body that varied slightly from its siblings. No two were exactly alike. Under those gorgeous curves sat a 1.5-liter inline-six engine producing a modest 65 horsepower. Not much by today's standards, but paired with its featherweight construction, the A6 danced through Italian mountain passes with the grace of a ballerina. Number 2. Ferrari 166 Interspider Corsa, 1948. While Maserati was winning hearts with its A6, another Italian visionary was making an equally bold move. In 1948, with Italy still struggling to rebuild, Enzo Ferrari was taking the ultimate gamble, transforming his racing team into a car company. The 166 Interspider Corsa wasn't just Ferrari's first real road car, it was the cornerstone of an automotive empire built during economic devastation. This beautiful machine packed a 2.0-liter V12 engine generating 110 horsepower, an engineering marvel that demonstrated Ferrari's racing DNA. Each 166 featured a custom-built body, with the most breathtaking examples crafted by Touring of Milan. These collaborations showcased Italian craftsmanship at a time when the country had so little to give materially, but so much to offer artistically. Number 3. BMW 328 Mille Miglia Com Coupe, 1940. While Italian artisans were crafting beautiful Ferraris, across the Alps a different kind of masterpiece was taking shape. As war clouds gathered over Europe in 1940, BMW engineers were focused on something extraordinary, a race car specifically created to conquer Italy's punishing Mille Miglia endurance race. This wasn't just another automobile. German aerodynamics wizard Wunderwald Kamm introduced something revolutionary that would change car design forever: the abruptly truncated rear end that bears his name. This Kamm tail looked strange and unfinished compared to the flowing designs of the era, but it sliced through air with unprecedented efficiency. Number 4. Bugatti Type 73C, 1944. Speaking of innovation during wartime, did you know some of the most audacious automotive designs were created right under the noses of Nazi occupiers? While the Bugatti factory in France was forced to produce German military equipment, Ettore Bugatti and a small team of engineers were secretly drafting plans for the future, risking execution if discovered. The Type 73C wasn't just another car. Its 1.5-liter engine featured dual overhead camshafts and 4 valves per cylinder. Technology so advanced it wouldn't become standard in production cars for another 40 years. This wasn't just engineering. It was an act of resistance, a declaration that French ingenuity would survive occupation. Number 5. Cadillac Series 62 Convertible Coupe, 1947. From the ashes of wartime production emerged something unexpected, a car so stylish and powerful that it would define an entire decade to follow. The 1947 Cadillac Series 62 Convertible Coupe arrived when Detroit was still struggling to transition from building tanks to passenger cars, creating unprecedented waiting lists where eager Americans would wait years just to purchase whatever vehicle became available. This wasn't just transportation. It was America's rolling declaration that sacrifice was over. With its sweeping bodywork, gleaming chrome accents, and muscular V8 engine, the Series 62 embodied everything returning veterans had fought to protect. Each one rolling off the assembly line represented a promise fulfilled. Number 6. Ferrari 125 Sport, 1947. While American factories were churning out luxury Cadillacs across the Atlantic in a tiny workshop in Maranello, something truly revolutionary was taking shape. The Ferrari 125S wasn't just another post-war automobile, it was the very first car to wear the now legendary prancing horse emblem, born in 1947 when much of Italy still lay in ruins. What made this car truly special was its heart, a diminutive yet mighty 1.5-liter V12 engine. Each cylinder displaced a mere 125 cubic centimeters, yet together they produced an astonishing 118 horsepower. In an era when most engines struggled to generate half that power, Enzo's creation was nothing short of engineering wizardry. Number 7. Talbot-Lago T26 Grand Sport, 1948. While Enzo Ferrari was creating automotive illusions with just 2 cars in Italy, across the border in France, an equally remarkable story was unfolding. The Talbot-Lago T26 Grand Sport wasn't just a beautiful car. It was a defiant statement from a nation still climbing out of the rubble of Nazi occupation. Post-war France faced a devastating reality in the luxury car market, where once stood proud names like Delage, Delahaye, and Bugatti, now remained mostly empty factories and broken dreams. Talbot-Lago's survival alone was miraculous. Number 8. Cadillac 60 Special, 1940. As France reimagined luxury through adversity, America was crafting its own automotive statement of confidence. The 1940 Cadillac 60 Special wasn't just another luxury car. It was a bold declaration of American optimism as war clouds gathered over Europe. Bill Mitchell's revolutionary design language transformed Cadillac just as the nation stood at the precipice of global conflict. The 60 Special dared to eliminate running boards while introducing flush-mounted headlights, innovations that competitors wouldn't adopt for years. Its lower, wider proportions created a striking silhouette that would influence automotive design for decades to come. Number 9. Talbot-Lago T26 Corse, 1948. While America created rolling, luxurious havens across the Atlantic, France was fighting a different battle entirely. The Talbot-Lago T26 Corse emerged as France's defiant answer to a crushing question. Could a nation with decimated resources reclaim its racing glory? This racing variant wasn't just about speed, it was about national resurrection. With German and Italian teams already roaring back to dominance with greater industrial might, the T26 Corse needed to be exceptional. Its meticulously engineered 4.5-liter power plant delivered an astonishing 240 horsepower in race configuration, paired with a chassis stripped to its essentials. Number 10. Porsche 356. While the French celebrated their racing triumph with the Talbot-Lago across the ruins of post-war Europe, an automotive legend was taking its first breath in the most unlikely of places. The year was 1948, and with Germany under crushing industrial restrictions, Ferrari Porsche made a fateful decision. He would build his family's first car in neighboring Austria instead. The circumstances couldn't have been more challenging. Ferdinand Porsche, the patriarch and engineering genius, sat in a French prison on war collaboration charges. His son, Ferry, was left to realize their automotive dream with barely more than determination and ingenuity. Number 11. Packard 120, Model 19, 01, 1939 to 1940. As Ferrari Porsche stretched limited resources to create automotive history, America's premier luxury car maker was wrestling with a high-stakes gamble of its own. The Packard 120 represented something revolutionary in the late 1930s, a prestigious nameplate deliberately moving down market during economic catastrophe to survive. Before the Great Depression, owning a Packard meant you'd arrived at the pinnacle of American success. But as bank failures mounted and fortunes evaporated, the company faced extinction. Their bold solution? Create a more affordable Packard without sacrificing the essence of luxury. Number 12. Cadillac D46, 1945. America's renaissance through Packard wasn't the only post-war automotive miracle. While factories across Italy lay in ruins, one visionary was crafting motorsport history from literal wreckage. The Cadillac D46 of 1945 wasn't just a car, it was a declaration that Italian ingenuity couldn't be bombed into submission. Piero Duccio, a former racing driver turned businessman, assembled a team that included Porsche engineers to accomplish the impossible. They worked magic with salvaged Fiat components, creating something magnificent from next to nothing. Their collaboration birthed a revolutionary space-frame chassis that redefined racing car construction, ultra-rigid, yet weighing barely more than your average concert piano. Number 13. Norman E. Timms Buick Streamliner, 1948. While Nuvolari was pushing Italy's automotive boundaries across the ocean, an American aerospace engineer was quietly revolutionizing car design in his own garage. Norman E. Timms wasn't just building a car. He was crafting a vision of the future using principles that most automotive designers hadn't even considered. What happens when someone applies aircraft design philosophy to the automobile? The result was the 1948 Buick Streamliner, a vehicle so radical that it made contemporary cars look like they belonged in a different century altogether. Timms invested the equivalent of $100,000 in 2 years of his life creating this aluminum teardrop on wheels at a time when most Americans couldn't even purchase a new production car due to post-war shortages. Number 14. Alfa Romeo 158/159 Alfetta, 1939-1951. While the flames of war consumed Europe, a remarkable story of automotive preservation was unfolding in Italy. The Alfa Romeo 158/159 Alfetta wasn't just stored away during World War II, it was hidden inside a cheese factory as German forces hunted for valuable industrial assets to claim as spoils of war. These brave Alfa Romeo engineers risked everything to protect what would become one of racing's most dominant machines. The Alfetta's engineering was nothing short of extraordinary. Its tiny supercharged engine evolved from producing a respectable 195 horsepower to an astounding 350 horsepower, achieving power density that wouldn't be matched for decades. Number 15. BMW 328 Berlin-Rome Roadster, 1941. Not every automotive masterpiece got its moment in the spotlight. While Alfa Romeo was celebrating victories with the Alfetta, across the border in Germany, a ghost car sat waiting for a race that would never come. The BMW 328 Berlin-Rome Roadster was created specifically for a propaganda event, a 1940 road race connecting Nazi Germany and Fascist Italy. But history intervened when Hitler invaded Poland, canceling the competition and sending Europe spiraling into chaos. Number 16. Healey Duncan Saloon, 1948. When most countries were focused simply on rebuilding after World War II, Britain dared to dream of luxury again. The 1948 Healey Duncan Saloon emerged during a time when bread was still rationed and the government directed nearly all steel toward export products to rebuild the battered economy. Donald Healey, undeterred by these challenges, partnered with coach builder Duncan Industries to create something extraordinary. Their solution to the severe steel shortage was ingenious. They constructed bodies using aluminum panels over wooden frames, borrowing techniques straight from aircraft manufacturing. The result was a sleek fastback with flowing lines that looked impossibly glamorous for such austere times.